Hello students, in this session we are going to discuss about some acid-base indicators, okay, and we have come across many titrations of an acid-base, right, and titrations can be broadly classified into four varieties: titration of a strong acid versus strong base, titration of a weak acid versus strong base, titration of a strong acid versus weak base, and both the components, both acid and base, are weak. Now, listen, when we titrate strong acid versus strong base, generally phenolphthalein will be taken as indicator. And for the titration of a weak acid versus strong base, phenolphthalein will be taken and methyl orange will not be taken. Now we need to ask why. Why methyl orange is not a suitable indicator? We are going to learn in this session. Just like that, titration of a strong acid versus weak base will be titrated with methyl orange. We don't take phenolphthalein, and both the indicators will not work with the titration of weak acid versus strong base. So there are two theories actually available to explain these phenomena. Okay, the first one is Ostwald theory and second one is quinonoid theory. So we are going to discuss one after another. The first one is Ostwald theory. This theory believes that phenolphthalein, being an indicator, will be weak acid, and methyl orange is a weak base. Phenolphthalein can be represented like HPH, which is a weak acid, and methyl orange is considered to be a weak base. And I'll normally use phenolphthalein in the strong acid, strong base titration. For example, if I add HCl with this phenolphthalein, a few drops of phenolphthalein will be added, and both will get ionized. HCl, being a strong electrolyte, will ionize almost completely, whereas phenolphthalein will undergo partial ionization. Being a weak acid, it will undergo partial ionization. We know that. But when I mix together, then common ion effect will come into play. H plus ions concentrations will be greater in the solution due to the complete ionization of HCl, which will retard the ionization of phenolphthalein. So the reverse reaction will be more favorable. So the reaction will go in this direction. So unionized HPH, that is phenolphthalein, will be present in the solution, and the color of this unionized phenolphthalein will be colorless. It is colorless when it is unionized. When it is ionized, then this conjugate base color will be pink. You understand? So when I add sodium hydroxide, the sodium hydroxide will slowly neutralize the OH minus ions. This OH minus ion comes from sodium hydroxide. So slowly OH minus ions will neutralize H plus ions that came from hydrochloric acid. Once the concentration of H plus ion decreased to great extent, to a particular extent, then phenolphthalein ionization will start, and then you will get this conjugate base, phenolphthalein ion, and thus pink color will be important in the solution. Another important thing we need to know, that in the titration of a weak acid plus strong base, that's a strong base, I should not use phenolphthalein. I should not use phenolphthalein. Let me explain what happens. Let me consider acetic acid is going to be titrated against sodium hydroxide, right? Now we know that, and I am going to add phenolphthalein as an indicator. Okay, now I know that acetic acid is a weak electrolyte, so it will feebly dissociate like H plus ion and acetate ion. We know this, right? Likewise, phenolphthalein will also dissociate like H plus ion and a phenolphthaleate ion, right? And this phenolphthaleate ion's color is pink color. We know this, right? Please remember that. Now, what happens, even in the higher concentration of this OH minus ion, which comes from sodium hydroxide, it will neutralize both your OH minus ions of acetic acid as well as H plus ions come from acetic acid, as well as H plus ion come from phenolphthalein. Now the color change. So you need to have a good concentration, a particular concentration of phenolphthaleate ion, so as to impart pink color in the solution. So what happens, because of feeble dissociation of two weak acids, the color change will happen beyond the equivalence point. Now let us understand what is equivalence point. Equivalence point is nothing but the end point, the volume at which the base completely neutralizes the acid, this one. Okay, the target acid. But being a weak acid, phenolphthalein will also undergo will also involve in titration, and that's why the color change will happen some 3 or 4 drops excess of when we add excess of sodium hydroxide, then only the color change will be seen, which means we will surely get error. So our titrated value will not be a perfect one. That's why it is not advisable to use phenolphthalein in the titration of weak acid versus strong base. In the same context, I can also understand that methyl orange being a weak base should not be used as the indicator for the strong acid versus weak base titration, right? This is a weak base. So for strong acid versus weak base titration, this methyl orange should not be used, because again the color change will be important in the solution beyond the equivalence point. That's why. Now the next theory what we are going to discuss is quinonoid theory. Okay, to understand quinonoid theory, we need to understand the concept of chromophores and oxochromes. An organic compound appears colored due to the presence of certain unsaturated groups, that is the groups with multiple bonds. Okay, such groups with multiple bonds will be called as chromophores. So chromophore is nothing but certain groups which will impart the color in the compound. Okay, and we have carbonyl group over here, nitro group, and azo group, then azo-oxy group. This is azo-oxy group, and this is what our compound, benzenoid. Okay, quinonoid form. This is quinonoid, and this is polyene. And oxochromes are some other groups which will help the compound to get intensified color. Okay, intensified color. So these are all the helping groups. Which will help the compound to get the color intensified, deepen the color. Okay, so hydroxy group, amine group, and NHR, NR2. These are all the some groups which will help the compound to get the color intensified, right? So if a compound is colored one, then it should have one among this group. Okay, chromophores. In the presence of chromophores, oxochromes are useful. If chromophore is absent, then oxochrome cannot impart a color. It is just a helping group. Only in the presence of chromophore, oxochromes will come into play. So in the backdrop of chromophore and oxochrome theory, we are going to discuss about the color change that is imparted by phenolphthalein in basic medium, right? So in basic medium, OH minus ions will abstract a proton from phenol. So this oxygen hydrogen bond will be broken heterolytically. So oxygen will get negative charge, So the resultant structure is drawn on the right hand side. So this resultant structure in which oxygen carries negative charge will undergo a resonance. So this bond will come here, and a new carbon oxygen double bond is about to form, due to which this double bond will be shifted here and this bond will be shifted here, and due to this carbon oxygen bond will be again broken heterolytically, and this oxygen is about to carry negative charge, right? So let me write the structure of the resultant final compound. Okay, so it will look like this. Oxygen, this oxygen will get a negative charge, and there will be carbon, and of course there is no change in the another phenol component, whereas here I will have a double bond with this one, right? So there will be a double bond, and I'll have this. This is the structure what it will result finally. And what is this? This is nothing but quinonoid, This is nothing but quinonoid. And we know that quinonoid is nothing but a chromophore. If quinonoid is present in a structure, then that structure is bound to have a color. And this is how color is being imparted in the solution. And the color of this quinonoid is pink. Okay, so in alkaline solution, what will happen if I add an acid? A little amount of acid will protonate this oxygen, this oxygen. So the reverse will happen. this will come here, this bond will come here, this bond will come here, and the negative charge will attack this carbon, so that I'll get unionized phenol. Okay, I'll get unionized phenol. So this is a completely reversible reaction, and it is completely based on the pH of the solution. If the pH is greater than 7, then the formation of such quinonoid structure is possible. If pH is reduced below 7, then the reverse reaction will be favored and phenolphthalein will be available as unionized. We know that the unionized phenolphthalein ion will be colorless in the solution, right? So the same thing will happen with methyl orange also. Okay, so this is the theory that lies behind the color change of the indicators, acid base indicators, what we have discussed. Thank you guys. I hope this video would have been much beneficial for you to understand about the working nature of these acid base indicators. Thank you guys.